Hello and welcome everybody. It is now time for Luli Tonight. I am Pat here with Carnival. Hi Carnival, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? We've got like a really excellent lineup for you guys today. Well, tonight, this evening, it's Ludi. It's during the day. It's during the night if you're in Europe. I'm really excited to see what we've got going on here. We have low-high slider and our other team is going to be Shade. We're on our top 16 matches here for Group W.
Group
We're in Div 8. 8W,
Yeah.
thank you.
8W. This is Div 8W.
There's
Div
so many
8
Div
was so
8.
big. Yeah. It's the world part of Div 8 because Div 8 was so big we had to divide it. And now we're in the playoffs. Now we are about to see this. Not much team have played the playoffs yet in this Div 8W, but we're going to start right there with Shade and Blow High Slider. Blow High Slider, they came out on top of their group, and they came out incredibly strong. But let's get right in the game with Wait It Enough Carnival. Let's see what these teams are bringing to the table.
So I'm seeing a custom Rage Blaster on one side with a Headit and a Roller, and on the other we've got an E-Leader, a T-Tech, pretty standard comp from Shade. But looks like Blow High Slider's bringing in a bit of a comp. I'm all for personally. I love those weird comps.
Yeah, there's a lot going right now. It looks like Shade is opening pretty strong. Blow High able to defend, but 2 down on each side, 3 down on the side of Shade. Blow High are staying strong on Mishi by the tower, getting the jumps. They get punished by the roller, and that's a very nice opening wipeout for Blow High.
Like you said, Blow High, top of their group, just easily able to take control of neutral there and absolutely wipe out Shade. Now, Manta Maria, especially on tower control, is a bit of a meat grinder as soon as you get towards that second checkpoint and that goal. But oh my goodness, it looks Shade has almost Blow High Slider with that range blast being the only thing left. Being able to provide that Kraken and make sure that their team doesn't wipe out is vital. But we can see that Funky Kong over here doing a little bit of a sneaky action going on here, trying to get a pick or two, but unable to do so as they are just pressured by that range right into dying. Oh, goodness.
That is more picks by Blow High. Again, it's just the Elite left, standing left, trying to hold the team together, get the rest of the team back in, and it's working! 3 down onto Blow High. They didn't get past that checkpoint yet. And Shade is back onto the tower, trying to push it themselves. These two teams have been fighting back and forth for that first checkpoint, which is usually a formality, but right now we are fighting strong and seeing what Shade is able to do. Shade standing on the tower, not getting the lead yet. Blow High is answering, and we've been with that blaster above them. That could spell trouble very fast.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's not often that you see that blaster on the opposite team's bunker trying to push out the checkpoint. Speaking of checkpoint, Shade was able to easily take that checkpoint and get the lead on this tower control map. But it seems to be staggering just a little bit here as Dixie Kong gets an incredible double, which is going to allow Shade to push further up and further in towards Blow High Blast's corridor.
Yeah,
Blow High
this is now the test for Shade. Can you get to that second checkpoint? That second checkpoint is so hard, but right now it's just the roller left standing for Blow High. All of Shade are pushing forward. They're gonna get that second checkpoint pretty much for free. There's nobody to defend it. All of Blow High is trying to get back in there. That heavy edit, it has to stand down because of the Elite, and right now the tower is moving forward more and more, trying to get to the third and final checkpoint. It looks like Blow High is able to stop things, delay a little bit and regroup, but Shade is still in there looking to take the tower again.
Absolutely. Shade is just doing a very, very good job of being able to keep Blow High on their toes and staggered while they take that bunker, they take those corridors. We see those sodas pop out, providing vital jumps for their team onto that bunker while Funky Kong acts as a distraction towards that heavy edit, which has to jump out.
The push is not stopping by Shade right there. Since they got that first checkpoint, they have kept pushing that tower more and more and giving some space when they have to, but they are always pushing, and they're still on that Booker. They don't super jump to spawn, they super jump to their teammate to regroup, to attack even more. And here comes the tower again. Blow High throwing the tactical, trying to defend, trying to stay in that fight, but right now they have a lot of work to do. There's just a minute left in this game, Carnival.
Absolutely, and it looks like Shade is just taking control of that lead there as much as they can, making sure that they have all of those points for themselves, so Blow High is unable to do anything. Oh my goodness, that Kraken canceled! Oof, you hate to see it, especially so close to the end too. We are down to almost 30 seconds left, and Blow High has nowhere to go.
Yeah, the Kraken finally coming thanks to the Tacticular. It's still a fight for that bunker, as you were talking about. Blow High really needs to take that control, and Shade, they know all they need to do is right now is just get more trades, just keep the fight active so that Blow High cannot catch a break and get to the tower. Just 10 seconds left in that game. Shade is flanking, knowing they just need to do that, and with that pick on 2-1, it's going to be the end of that game. Oh wait, they're on the tower, but they're completely surrounded, and that's game number 1 for Shade.
You hate to see it. It looked like Blow High had an incredible first lead, but then Shade coming right out of the woodworks and
yeah, well, that
sorry
was...
about that.
Yeah, all good?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, yeah, as you were saying, like, Shade, once they had that control, once they were pushing forward, they didn't stop. And Blow High scraped their way back to mid, but it was in the last minute that they did that, and it was a bit too late. They were not able to get any momentum from that. They just struggled to move forward. Even when they had the advantage at the start of the game, they got a wipe out and they didn't get the first checkpoint of it.
Yeah, there was some really incredible strategizing and gameplay over on the side of Shade, with those flanks being absolutely vital to take out Blow High one by one and make sure that their bunker was Shade's, which honestly was with that T-Tech doing the T-Tech and the Slosher combo, just being able to easily take those flanks and take out and pressure the Heavy Edit and the Range Blaster, taking down two of those like pivotal weapons on the side. Blow High was probably their key to victory.
Yeah, for sure. There was a lot of awareness. Very nice first fight by Shade, but it's just the first. We still have a lot more to go into this Looty set, this first round of Looty playoff, and we're going to go straight right there into Clan Blitz on Museum.
Oh, Museum d'Alfonsino Clan Blitz. That Heavy Edit is going to be even more vital in this match, especially with the cooler. And the range that the Heavy Edit provides, combined with the fact that Museum is such a favorable map for long-range weapons, I think that Blow High might be able to turn it around here.
Yeah, everything is possible. It's, again, as you said, like all about finding your game, finding your own strengths and playing off of these strengths. Blow High, they still have the time to find how they can counter what Shade is doing. But Shade, they were flanking, they were going in, they were constantly regrouping, and it's not just a matter of weapon. Shade had the coordination. Blow High, they need to find a way to break that coordination. They need to find a way to really like stop them from regrouping. They did a clean wipe and then to go forward of it, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely. I'm personally excited to see just how Blow High will be able to get the opposite team out and away from their basket, especially with there aren't many viable flank routes on Museum, but there are flank routes still available, and Shade might be able to get that and use it to their advantage as we are going right into the match. Let's see if the team comps have changed at all.
Yeah, the team comps are in, and it's still a roller coming. I feel like okay, we no longer have a blaster. There's a lot going on there.
Oh my goodness. Is that a headed and an E-leader on the same side? I'm actually kind of stupefied. That's such an interesting comp.
That's a lot of solidity, you know. They have a lot of range off of that. They only need to hold their ground. I feel like Shade's plan right there is to just stay alive, stay on the map, and outlive Blahai. And it's working so far. Shade are already under the basket. It's just another attack, and Shade just going off of the momentum they got in game number 1 already with 2 Super Clam into the basket.
Clams into the basket, and a couple more clams coming from that heavy edit. Oh my goodness. They were just easily able to throw Blowhigh off enough to get that basket up and over, clam up and over into the basket, pardon me. We can see more clams are being collected as we speak. It seems like Shade has most of the clam economy in the bag here.
Yeah, a lot is coming, and just like that, in a single minute, Shade scored 70 points. If they do that again, they get a KO, and they are not stopping. It's just Cuddle on the side of Blowhigh trying to keep the rest of the team alive. That's going to be another push for Shade as Blowhigh is just regrouping onto their platform.
Oh, we can see that E-leader just absolutely having some amazing shots while they're on spinner, being able to provide coverage. Oh my gosh! A double on the side here. We can see that that Kraken is coming out, trying their best to prevent Blowhigh from coming in. They put down that bubble, but it is too little, too late, as Fade is just easily able to stop that push then and there. We can see Cuddle providing jumps and Soda over there for the teammates, which is pivotal with such little points that they they have left to give up before the other team wins. You can see Dixie over here pushing forward with that clam. They've got a double clam over here. They're gonna try and dunk it in, and they do successfully sneak past!
I mean, that's going to be it for Shade. They lost too many players. They're going to stop the push right there. Very nice discipline by them. Just trying to regroup into mid, but it's not enough. They should have moved back. Blahai able to punish them right there in mid. They need to get into the attack, but they're a bit too eager. We see Blahai still trying to get in. Yoshi able to deploy that big bubbler onto the platform. That is the opportunity for Blahai trying to get in, but getting the bomb onto the big bubbler. That's going to be rough right there. Shade still able to defend, to delay that push, but the Booyah Bomb is allowing them to open the basket, and now it's Blowhigh just making points and points, and one more super clam. They just one more clams. One more clam is all they need to get the lead, but it's just Cuddle, and Cuddle is way too far back. That's no lead by one single point.
Wow, that was an incredible push on the side over of Blowhigh here. Getting it 69 clams in one fell swoop, especially while their team was down, is an incredible move. Oh my goodness, we see that heavy edit just spilling blood and ink over on the side of Shade here. They're pushing forward with those clams. That Trizuka getting the couple of picks that they need to keep them off for now. See that Kraken canceled by that roller. Those triple ink strikes are out. It's just back and forth, specials going out and being canceled everywhere. They're trying their best to build up more clams. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we are now in a last minute. Blowhigh needs to get a few more clams, needs to get back into the game, and they are fighting for me. They're able to cancel that super clam that Shade had on top mid right there. The Kraken is deployed, and the Kraken is going to get the super jump right here. That is so tough for Blowhigh. They have 40 seconds to build a super clam and build a push right now. They know what they need to do. Shade are pretty happy to just paint all of mid blue. That's because that's all they need to do in order to delay the push from Blow High so far, but 2 down onto Blow High, and Shade are pushing forward again, and that heavy edit with that Elite behind them, they know that they can push forward and be incredible aggro. Ooh!
Ooh! That was an excellent clam stop, but not for long. As you can see, they popped that basket. There's a wipeout, and they are just easily able to win that game take it from Blow High. At one point, just standing in their way, they were unable to make another push after Shade had let them in. And it just really shows, like you said, how incredible Shade's discipline and coordination have been these past couple of matches.
Yeah, we saw Yoshi with the roller at some point getting a sick triple, but one Kraken, a few super jumps, and all of Shade was back in position, cancelling any push, keeping the ground that they had. Shade really incredible coordination and that ability as a team to recognize when they can push and when they have to just save themselves, wait a little bit longer. That being said, Blow High, they did better in this game than they did in the first one. They are learning, they are getting to the pace of Shade, and I mean, one more game where they improve a little bit more, where they learn one more thing, they could get there. They are getting there, and we are not done yet. This is why it's a best of 9 and not a best of 3.
Absolutely. We are moving on to Hagglefish Market Rainmaker, which is not a combination that you see often. Usually it's Hagglefish Tower or Hagglefish Clams, but I genuinely haven't seen a Haggle Rainmaker game in eons. So we'll see if that firepower from Shade is going to be able to take advantage of Blow High once again. Like I was saying before, it seems like Shade is favoring these long-range heavy maps, especially with Mishi on that E-leader, just having some incredible shots. I mean, we saw how pinpoint precise their shots were on that Museum de Alfonsino match.
Yeah, it's like, as you said, pinpoint accuracy is great, especially when the opponent has a Splatling. Heavy edit Splatling has to just cower in fear when there's an Elite on the other side. You need to respect that range, you need to respect that aim, especially when you're standing, when you're not even swimming. It's going to be tough on Blow High in terms of map, but I feel like Rainmaker is good for them, because as we're talking about Shade, they're able to just not leave too much ground when they are pushing, when they are getting splatted. In Rainmaker, if the opponent gets the splats on you, either they get the checkpoint or they get a huge amount of points. In here, like, you just get that one jump between the checkpoint and the platform, and you get like 30 points for free. It can go incredibly fast. So you can't rely on yourself just respawning fast. You need to stay on the map.
Yeah. You can see we've got a double shot on the side of Blow High, which is a very interesting choice. Maybe that extra firepower coming from those specials is going to be able to help them, as they're running now a double Zuka with that bubbler and a cooler. Oh no.
Well, that's Blow High losing a player there. No, Shade losing a player there, and and. Yeah, that's, I mean, it happens. That's part of the course. This is Splatoon competitive. It's going to happen. One thing to note, Blow High...
Let's just reel that all back and try it again.
But what that means is, look at Blow High's comp. They don't have a backline. They don't even have a midline. They are going full rats mode for Rainmaker, and I love to see it. That's how you play Rainmaker.
You absolutely love to. Who needs a backline on Rainmaker when you've got 2 shots, a roller, and a zap, right?
Yeah, just getting on fight, getting their faces. It's, I mean, they need to pay attention to that Elite, get through that Elite's aim. If they're able to dodge one shot, they can just run up to the enemy and fight them mano a mano, and that's how you do it. And especially for Rainmaker, this is the kind of switch in strategy that could pay off, that can allow Blow High to put their first point on the board.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I'm just thinking now, with that E-liter, they're probably gonna want to park on that glass area right above the Rainmaker, and that's not a very easy spot for frontliners to get to unless you're sneaky, unless you can find a way around and behind that leader. I don't know. I have this feeling that this leader is absolutely going to be destroying them.
I mean,
but we'll see. I'm not counting them out yet. I'm not discounting them yet.
And remember that if you have 2 splatter shots, you have 2 suction bombs to throw at that spot, and then you have 2 Zukas to fire at that spot. Like, that E-liter is going to have to run every once in a while. And that's what Blowhigh needs, to use these opportunities. Whenever they throw bomb, whenever they throw Zuka, they know that the E-liter needs to move, and they can use that to do whatever they need to do. Which in Rainmaker is enough, because as long as you're going fast, it can work pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. And with those sodas, they're also going to be moving and grooving with that Rainmaker, hopefully. So they'll be able to avoid that E-liter's gaze, at least for a little bit. And that little bit might be what they need to win, as we are just going right back into it. It's Rainmaker, it's Hagglefish. We all know what to expect. Let's go.
Yep, and this is what we get. Both of the heavy edits are out. It's time to fight for that Rainmaker with just Mishi, the only long range in this whole lobby. That's going to be incredibly key. What the E-liter does. Can they dodge the E-liter? Can they go within that range to fight it? Right now, both teams are just fighting for that Rainmaker, and the first bomb is already going to get 1 casualty. 1 more, 3 down onto Blowhigh. It's just Maimer trying to get in, trying to slow things down. It's not going to work. And Shade getting an early checkpoint, already getting the rip-up and going for the jump right there. 26!
That jump was incredible! Oh my goodness! They easily took that Rainmaker from checkpoint, jumped all the way over to that 26, but now they are in the middle of Blowhigh's area, and they must clear them out of that space. They have the Rainmaker. Oh my goodness! Down to 1 point! Oh, jeez!
Okay, here comes the Zuka. The Zuka are going to allow Blowhigh to breathe a little bit. Push all of Shade away. Shade still has control of all of mid, though. It's going to be a very much an uphill battle for Blowhigh. This is not how you want to start your Rainmaker game.
Blowhigh is going to have to win the game in order to take it, because with that 1 point on the base, Shade has set the precedent for what Blowhigh needs to expect and what they need to. Oh my goodness! Incredible double with the slosher. Oh, you love to see it.
Yeah, it's not over, though. All of Blowhigh are trying to jump back in, are trying to get back in this game. Shade, though, able to just take that control. 3 minutes left in the game. Blowhigh hasn't touched the Rainmaker yet, but they are on their way to do it. They didn't get that beacon, and right now Shade are still responding, still getting back in their Dixie Kong, getting 1, getting 2. Oh, so much is happening, but 3 down onto Blowhigh. Shade getting the opportunity again, and they know that all they need to do is bait around. They don't even need to grab the Rainmaker.
All they need to do, like you said, is just paint and keep Blowhigh at bay. Could grab the Rainmaker now, which they do. It's not sure how far they're going to be able to take it. If they're going to be able to take it far at all. We see they are able to push Blowhigh into their base easily with those easily placed Rainmaker shots. Like I said many times before when I commentate, some people are Rainmaker mains, and we can see we've got a Rainmaker main on the side over of Shade.
Any charger player that grabs a Rainmaker is instantly dangerous. You have to pay attention. They know how a charging weapon works, and right there, that's a bit of more time used by Shade, time that Blowhigh cannot use to go forward, especially now that they have 2 players down again. Blowhigh needs to keep their player, they need to win these fights. They can't get trades, they can't get picked, they need to get glint picks themselves and go forward, but right now they're just fighting dearly for me, trying to find a way in. Bazooka is coming, is not going to find anything yet. Blow High still struggling right there for a pick, not getting the pick up Donkey Kong. It's just a trade. Yoshi with the bubbler on top mid is trying to establish a perimeter, and that could be Blow High with a tacticaler finally going forward.
They are easily, like you said, able to establish some sort of territory on mid here. But Michi over here tap-shotting poor Bean. Oh my goodness, and then a charge shot with the Kraken. They're coming in, they're 3 down. Oh my god, Michi's out for blood.
Okay, but like we were like, oh, there's a front line, there's a back line in the Elite. Never mind, it's only front lines in this lobby. It's how it works, and right now Blow High are still losing player after player. It's laid wide onto them, and with just 40 seconds left, Shade again keeping that control onto me, not trying to push forward. They don't need, I mean, they can't extend their lead without getting a KO. They know it's not worth the risk. All they need to do right now is just get splat after splat, and that's what they're doing. Blow High just struggling to go forward, fighting as much as they can, but with the triple ink strike, they're getting punished more and more. Bazooka is not finding anything. Carnival, it's good. It looks like it's over. Ooh,
I think it's over. Oh! Goodness, there's 3 down inside of Shade. It's not over yet. We see that Blow High's taking that opportunity. Oh!
It was 3
unfortunate
down.
slash to pick.
It was 3 players down, but not 4. The slusher was still there, was still watching, and got that splat on the Rainmaker. Shade just in full control, that right there.
Absolutely. Their comp seems to be working like wonders for Shade. They're able to just take hold of neutral, push forward, wipe out, and then push forward again. Time after time we're seeing here.
And I mean, usually editors are too slow to play Rainmaker normally, but this one is just, they don't care. Shade, they don't care. They're just getting in. Rainmaker, editor, that's still a frontline weapon in their hands. It's incredible what they're able to do right there, just going in forward and showing how they dominated their group, but this was no accident, and they are vying to get into the next round. I mean, right now, Blow High are really in a tough spot. They still have a few more games to get their head back in there, to put some scores, to put some points on the board, but it looks like a very, very, very tough one.
We're moving on to Splat Zones and Umami Ruins. Like you were saying, that's the fastest E-leader I've ever seen. Michi is eating up with that on Rainmaker with that E-leader. That triple was something to behold, with a tap shot, charge shot, and then immediately killing with the Kraken. And able to stay alive through all of that. They know what they're doing with that weapon, and they are not afraid to use it against the other team. Which is, you can easily see how Shade has been dominating their group, yes, but Blow High seems to be somewhat getting their act together, so I'm excited to see how these next couple of games go. Oh my goodness, I'm getting commentator's tongue.
Yeah, it's par for the course, but yeah, I feel like Blow High are getting there, are getting this fight. They know what they need to do. It's just they're just one step behind Shade every time. If they're able to just find one surprise, find one way to put Shade off balance, they could get some momentum themselves. And momentum means a lot. It's going to be tough though going into Umami Ruins, because you know what weapon is very good on this map?
E-leader.
Yep. It's going to be a tough one, and well, they're bringing a pencil to counter that E-liter. That's a very, very good option. And Shade is bringing back the 2 mid lines this time. I don't see a Splattershot Pro that often, but good work very well with the grab tag.
It probably will work very well with the crab tank, especially. Oh my goodness, we see that Shade is already 3 down with that change in comp, putting Blowhigh first in their lead with that zone. Oh my goodness, that roller easily able to capture that zone quickly and get those couple points on the board. They are moving and grooving, able to easily push up into their area, but Blowhigh has to back down as Shade respawns and they go 2 down.
Yeah, very nice answer by Shed, able to get 3 onto Blowhigh. This is the kind of counter push that we expect Shade to do. Blowhigh has to concede the zone, has to move a big bat. They were able to put some points and start this game. This is not over though. Both teams are still fighting, like Blowhigh is still fighting for these zones, but Shade able to get 2 down, able to push Blowhigh away. It's going to, I mean, Blowhigh will have to wait and get their specials before they can get another push.
Yeah, we see that Crab and that Wavebreaker working in tandem to push Blowhigh back up all the way into their spawn as they lose the lead. That Pencil trying their best to take down that Splattershot Pro. Oh my goodness, I can't even recognize the weapon. I don't see it that much. But we see that Blowhigh's pushing back forward into mid, but unable to take the zone as we see that E-Leader absolutely wreck that poor soul behind the corner.
It's not stopping Blowhigh. Oh, 3 players down. Shade are going to take back that control, and they only need to paint that extra zone if they want to extend their lead. Penalty was not applied because, hey, double zones be like that. It's Shade is again back in control, but all of Blowhigh are collapsing on them, are trying to get in there, trying to get a bit more, and it looks like that team fight is going better for them right now. We see trade after trade, and Blowhigh are the last ones on top, applying penalty, keeping themselves in the game.
They seem to be on the right foot this game, as we can see that Blaster being able to apply pressure onto Shade and being able to let that Pencil go forward, but not for long, as Blowhigh goes 3 down. Shade once again taking control of that zone, applying that Crab and making sure that Blowhigh stays in their spawn until that Crab is up. Now without a few picks though.
Yep, it's not over. Shade initiating their lockdown, making sure that nobody can go forward. Blowhigh trying to find a way in, getting in the fight. They are getting the trades right there. It's 2 down onto Blowhigh. It's not enough to push. And with just 40 ticks left onto the zone, it's going to be a rough one. They need to find a push, but they get 2 down again. Shade keeping up the momentum, are getting splat after splat after splat, Carnival.
Absolutely. We see that E-Leader parked on Dome, as they should be, and they are pushing Blowhigh into their spawn pick after pick, and it's game over with Shade easily able to take back that zone, able to push forward. You can see that paint. Blowhigh did not stand a chance. Oh my goodness.
That was, again, Shade taking control. Shade maintaining their pace, maintaining their way forward, and keeping themselves on the map as they get splat after splat after splat. The weapon doesn't matter, it's always the same result. Shade is on top right there.
You hate to see a mostly purple map when you're the yellow team. And unfortunately, with Shade being able to apply such excellent pressure and paint control in neutral, Blowhigh has to come up with an answer for that quick. We have only, what, 1 game left before the end of this set?
Maybe. Could be.
Are we match point? I think we might be match point.
Yeah, we are on match point. This could be the last game. This could not be. It's not over. This is last chance for Blowhigh now. They need to get back in the game, and it's going to be back onto tower control, but this time on Undertow Spillway.
Undertow Spillway tower control. Yep, that sure is a map mode combination. Honestly, not much to say. It's a very like Manta Maria, very, very snowbally map.
Yeah. I mean, it's a snowballing mode, and this map plays so weird on tower control because once you're past mid, once you're under the ledge of where the opponent is, if you have the weapons to just poke under these ledges, you can deal so much damage. You can be so dangerous, and yeah, as you said, momentum is everything. It can snowball incredibly fast and incredibly hard.
Absolutely. An Undertow Spillway with an E-Leader might be a little bit more difficult to play around because there are so many off angles and corners and blockages that frontliners can hide behind that an E-Leader might not be able to find much purchase.
Yeah, it's true. We might maybe have a change in weapons, or maybe a bit of nerf onto Mishi is very much welcome if you're on the side of Blowhigh. Blowhigh bringing Carbon Roller. It's... Ooh, and it's Vanilla Elite with the Wave Breaker this time.
Vanilla Leader with Wave Breaker and a Ninja Squid Carbon Roller. I know what Blowhigh's planning. And they are gonna have to make this work if they want to move on past that match point in order to get a point off of this match here. But unfortunately, there's a wipeout within the first 30 seconds of the match starting! Oh my goodness!
Shade just... I mean, that's what they've been doing for this whole set. And right now, they're just absolutely shredding their way forward. It's 3 down, and they're just like under that ledge, trying to get a bit more, making sure that Blowhigh cannot go forward, cannot poke. And here, Funky Kong just getting in with that blaster, getting one, helping on the second, and now deploying the bubbler. It's not needing, nobody is left alive, and Shade with a clean and dominating 5-0 are going to advance into these playoffs.
That was probably the fastest power control match I have ever seen in my time commentating. Goodness gracious. Shade was just dominating those matches, and they are deserving of moving on to that that top cut. Oh my goodness. I'm finding it hard to describe how powerful Shade has been over these past couple of games.
They are incredibly impressive, and remember, Blowhigh, they're no scrub. They made it to the playoffs for a reason. They were playing very well. It's just that Shade was on a different level right there. They are vying for the top. They are qualified for the quarterfinals of this Division 8W playoffs. It's it's been the game, and honestly, congratulations to Shade.
Congratulations to Blowhigh as well. Getting into the top 16 in any division is an achievement to be remembered by. Blowhigh did very good in their group. Being able to go to the top 16 should be something that they should be proud of, even if they got massacred by Shade today. It's just proof that they are capable of being at the top of their division.
Yeah, for sure. Congratulations to both teams, but Carnival, I think it's time for us to say goodbye.
Lily, I think we have to skedaddle here soon. So I will just keep this brief. Hi, I'm Carnival. I commentate for Booty. I commentate for Off the Dial. If you see me, come say hi. I don't have any sort of Twitter. I just have Discord.
That's fine.
I'm Enigma. Cannot be seen.
Well, it was a pleasure knowing you and casting with you this set. I am Pat. You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at PatJRTov. It's written on your screen right now. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you, Ryan, for being our wonderful streamer. And good luck with the rest of this night. We have more Looty tonight to show you, so stay tuned for the next game right after this short break. Oh, we want to shout out Sunset Surge on Splatoon Tourney, which is going on right now as well. Yep.
Hello, everybody. We are back from our break here with Ludi tonight on Splatoon Tourney. Thank you all for waiting. My name is Hammy. I'm here with Jordan, and we are getting ready for our next set, which is going to be Division 9W Top 16 Coffee Dream Squids versus Shake. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm doing great. I am Jordan or Squidoku. I go by both. And I'm excited to see these two teams face off. We have Shake, who were at the top of their group, winning all 5 of their sets with 3 5-0s, a 5-2, and 1 5-4 that went all the way to Game 9. Coffee Dream Squids won 4 sets 5-0, and in their one loss, they did take 2 games. So it was a close group, but I'm excited to see how these two teams face off against one another.
Yeah, that's definitely what we expect to see here in the playoffs. We're kind of seeing the best of the best from each division. So even those teams that are at the bottom of the seeding, they're still going to be very strong teams in their groups. So it's a very interesting position to see all these groups coming together and see kind of who can take the top spot between each other. So yeah, as we said, we have our Div 9 match here between Coffee Dream Squids and Shake. We have our teams getting ready here. And I do believe our first map of the night is going to be Tower Control on Monte Maria. Very interesting map that can go a lot of ways. I feel like I know a lot of people who don't like this map. Some people love it. It really depends on what your weapon picks are, and we'll have to see what kind of weapons that these teams bring out for us today.
Yeah, a lot of popular weapons do seem to not be as effective on here. Stuff like the long-range backline weapons like chargers. You might see a team going for something a little different. I wonder if we'll see something like a Wellstring on this from either team. Just putting that into the air, but we will see pretty soon as these teams get right into it.
Yes, we are now loading into our match. We're about to see what weapons we have coming in from the side of Coffee Dream Squids. We do have a Tent Umbrella, a shooter, a custom range blaster, and a Head-It. On the side of Shake, we do have a Splatling and 3 shooters, including a Junior with a bubble. So it could be a very interesting way to hold the tower there. And both teams just kind of running what they look like they're comfortable with here.
Yeah.
We do, unfortunately, a DC from Shake, as both teams will now kind of futz about in their streets as they do reset the battle here. Unfortunate way to start it out, but we'll just have to let the players shake it off and just get ready here as we reset that match. Though I do like these picks. I think that the Tent could have a lot of value, and I love that Junior pick as an ex-Junior main. I think that it's a great weapon to bring here.
Yeah, especially with that bubble being a useful tool for holding the tower, especially through checkpoints like the second checkpoint here on Manta Maria, which is so crucial and such an important point in this map mode, because once you get through that, being able to hold the enemy street is very strong, especially because it's a little bit hard to get in there without really exposing yourself to the defense that you could set up on their bunker. So the points will go down quickly if either team can get through, and that bubble is a good tool for doing that. Additionally, on the other side, on the side of Coffee Dream Squids, you have that Tent Umbrella, and that Tent Shield could also be a good tool for that, as well as the Ink Vac. And I do notice that the Tent also has beacons, and personally, I think Manta Maria is a great Squid Beacon map.
Yeah, that vanilla Tent Umbrella there, very not as common as the Sorella, but I think it's a very good pick here because, like you said, that Ink Vac can give a lot of value if used correctly. The Tent Shield itself is great, and then those beacons. It's such a wide map that has a lot of good places for beacons, and it's kind of hard to get rid of them sometimes because you really have to put yourself out of position just to get rid of a beacon. And if you have a sub weapon that can take a player out of a fight and distract them, then that's a pretty strong asset to have.
Yeah, and not only is Manta a bit on the wider side in terms of maps, there are a lot of narrow passages and a lot of walls that you can put the beacons behind to make them a lot harder to hit by enemies. And there are plenty of areas that are hard to access and hard to shoot at. Now we see here Fly on the side of Shake rolling out, getting that bubble pretty early, and going to have that ready to use. But Coffee Dream Squids also putting pressure in mid. It's still pretty neutral here. However, the custom range blaster on the side of Coffee Dream Squids is the first to go down.
Yeah, we see the shot here on the side of Shake. Does go behind and go for a flank. Isn't able to get any value of it, though the CRB did go off the side of the map. And now 2 go down on Coffee Dream Squids. That tent shield going in to try to help give some pressure and get them out of their own street as they do go down. And now the CRB going down. That is a delayed wipe for Coffee Dream Squids as they're now trying to respawn. And Shake is already pushing through. They're already got the first checkpoint. They're already at the second checkpoint with less than a minute into the game already. And they're just trying to take a commanding lead here as Sushi does bring out the vac. Does shoot it, does unfortunately arcs it across and doesn't get much value out of it, though. Coffee Dream Squids do clear up their street, and it looks like Shake is unable to keep that stronghold, but they do have 3 up on that grate, and they're trying to keep something going.
Yeah, I saw that bubble coming out from the Junior on Shake, but it might have been a little bit too late. They didn't have it ready when they got to the checkpoint, and by the time it was used, it looked like there were 1 or 2 players from Coffee Dream Squids already in it, already taking the tower and pushing Shake out of that bubble.
Yeah, now we see here both teams are currently kind of just, skirmishing a bit in the mid. We do see one go down a Coffee Dream Shake as they do back up into their street. They do get rushed immediately by that shot, who does go down. This tent shield coming out here trying to, in the vac as well, they're trying to prevent anything from happening in the street. They do get flanked by the heavy, though it does go down to the vac shot. In just a back and forth here, though Shake does have the advantage as they are pushed up with the tower and are kind of pushing Coffee Dream Squids back, though they do go 3 down on both sides, actually. A 1v1 here, and just, again, both teams just kind of skirmishing each other, fighting back and forth, and there's no real clear winner to these fights.
Yeah, 3 going down on both sides. Coffee Dream Squids have not really been able to put together a push of their own, but they have been successful in at least stopping Shake from getting all the way through that second checkpoint. But there's that flank coming out from Squiddion on that order shot replica on the side of Shake, getting behind, and if you can get behind the tent, it can be a lot harder for the tent to defend from 2 angles at once if they're in their street, such as they have been doing. But Coffee Dream Squid still have been able to get the tower back to mid, touching the tower for just a moment, but it's in such a risky spot, such a vulnerable spot to where Shake are all set up now that it won't be a very safe move to push the tower forward at the moment. They have that heavy edit splatling up on top of those grates, which is, you're unable to get to the grates from underneath. You have to walk onto them from your bunker in this particular mode, but it looks like that the edit may have abandoned that position, and multiple specials coming out from Coffee Dream Squids now. That Kraken looking for something, looking to get a pick in the bunker, and only getting picked off as the Kraken ended. I also see that Tacticooler, and there was a vac coming out earlier from Coffee Dream Squids, but it looks like they weren't able to get any picks with those specials, and so they'll have to wait for another set of specials to get another push. Squiddion on that flank yet again, getting a pick on a player who pushed forward there, and the edit also going down, and 3 players going down, so Shake get another chance to push the tower, and they're going to try once again. They have, it appears, a wave breaker ready to go, but not a bubble. The Zuka might go for some picks here, already popping it, but Shake are pushed off the tower, getting back on it, but under pressure from that ranged blaster, and they still have made it past checkpoint 2.
Yeah, Shake here, great position as they get through those first 2 checkpoints. Very important ones to hold because this last one's very risky. It's right in front of your goal. It's already 25 points away from winning. 2 go down to Coffee Dream Squid. Shake is still just holding a very strong position here. And they've had that fairly consistent control throughout this game as we see them about to KO. And they do, Shake taking the first game of the set, and very, very aggressive playing from them. We've seen Squiddion multiple times getting behind Coffee Dream Squids that game, and Coffee Dream Squids with a team with that 10, especially with the vac, I feel like we should have seen a lot more aggressive plays from them going forward and using those shields and that deflection, able to just let them walk in. But they played a very passive and very defensive game, which let Shake take the upper hand ultimately.
Yeah, and we saw that they were able to snowball the tower all the way to that through the third checkpoint and all the way to the goal as soon as they got through that second checkpoint, which just goes to show how essential it is to be able to get through that. But it was very well done from Shake to be able to just win enough of those fights in mid to prevent Coffee Dream Squids from getting any real momentum of their own. It does appear that they were actually able to nearly shut them out completely, preventing them from getting past the 3-point score, the 97 remaining mark.
Yeah, as I say, Shake having a great game there and playing very aggressive, playing to their strengths, and again with that triple shooter comp, it's, you know, they work very well aggressively, so might as well play to your strengths. But now we're going to Clam Blitz on Museum d'Alfonsino. This is also a map that you can benefit greatly from being aggressive and locking a team out. So we're going to have to see if Coffee Dream Squids can keep an aggressive footing there, and if they bring back that tent, try to use that vac and that shield as a engagement tool rather than a defensive tool.
Yeah, and we saw no real backline weapons, nothing super long range coming out from either of these teams. The longest range weapon we saw was the heavy edit Splatling, but I wonder if either of these teams does have a charger player that can switch that out for a pencil or even an E-liter, because that will be able to reach across a very large portion of mid in Museum d'Alfonsino, which is where we are going for our next game.
Yeah, that's definitely a way that they could shake things up here. You know, if you don't run a backline comp here, it makes it a lot easier to get in. You're unpressured in mid. It gives you more free reign to do as you please without really having any fear of getting shut down. So a long range backline can be very strong here. I know jet squelchers are a very popular weapon. We may probably still see that vanilla heavy coming out, as that can be a weapon with enough range and enough DPS to kind of do some work here, though. Again, this is one of those cases where both teams definitely have their picks, they have their strengths, and we're going to have to see which team brings out what and which team stands on top.
Yeah, we'll be heading right into that pretty soon as the weapons have been selected, and in just a moment we will see what weapons these teams have picked as we are rolling out into this Game 2, Clam Blitz, Museum d'Alfonsino. I see the tent still coming out and an edit from the side of Coffee Dream Squids. Shake have put flowing onto that custom E-liter 4K, which is another beacon weapon. So, but it's Sushi has from the vanilla tent to the Sorella tent umbrella with the ink mines and the Trizuka, and now 3 down already on the side of Shake. Squidion going for that early flank, but being the only one to survive that initial slaughter, essentially, as Coffee Dream Squids are putting together a strong push. There's that double splat bomb. I'm not sure if those were both from the junior or if one was from the junior and one from the T-Tech. However, that early push does get shut down pretty quickly with Fly throwing those bombs, getting that paint out and that bubble, as 2 down now on the side of Coffee Dream Squids, and Shake have already brought this back to neutral.
Shake doing a great job defending from Coffee Dream Squids. They held out their plat and they had power clam there, but Shake ultimately able to push them out and now take control of the map. It is a 2 versus 2, but they do have map control. They have that leader set up in the top of the middle, and they have a Kraken ready, so it's still a very scary position for Dream Squids. And again, as you mentioned earlier, they did bring the Sorella tent this time, so they do have that Zuka to help them get out. They also have the crab from the splash that they brought in this time, so they have a lot of great long-range specials to help them get out of their own base, though they need to utilize those because currently Shake is still holding map control.
That they are. Shake does have the map control. However, that Zuka coming out, aiming for a pick on the E-liter, not being able to take Flowing out. Flowing retreating to the plat side of Shake. However, able to have enough room to move back forward towards that spinner into mid. Actually, still sitting underneath, I think. No, hard to say. But actually moving forward with that Kraken, taking that space for Shake. Not able to get any picks, but Shake do manage to score enough clams to get to the 56 remaining. That wasn't just 2 power clams, though. That was 1 clam and 8 individual clams thrown in. However, that push does come to an end with a quick wipeout here by Coffee Dream Squids, but being able to get past the 60-point remaining mark is very important here for Shake.
Yes, as we know, the 60 points is a very common milestone in Clam Blitzes. You get 2 power clams in. So that means that Coffee Dream Squids, even with 2 power clams, not going to lead. And now they're going to need even more as Shake opens up the basket yet again with the power clam. They get a second power clam in and a couple of extra individual clans. 20 points left remaining for Shake before they get the win here. Very, very scary position to be in for Coffee Dreams kids. You want to try to get them out here as Shake is just currently running back for clams. They're just collecting. They have enough to end, though this leader needs to get in through this cut. They need to defend this. They do go down and then they get the wipeout, or sorry, no, the KO as Shake is able to get those clams in. And that's just a very quick 2-0 right now for Shake over Coffee Dream Squids in this best of 9 set, which you still have a lot of wiggle room here if you're Coffee Dream Squids, but this is the point where you gotta shake it off. You gotta bring a new game plan and you gotta just start finding a way to start getting some wins here.
Yeah, Coffee Dream Squids might look to shake it off, but Shake will be looking to keep shaking it on as they have gone up 2-0 in 2 very strong performances here so far. They've been able to keep Coffee Dream Squids for the most part on the back foot. There was one early push where Coffee Dream Squids managed to make it onto Shake's plat, but they didn't score off of it. And what is especially interesting to me is that even after Shake got wiped out from after their first push, they managed to regroup very quickly, and in essentially no time at all, they prevented Coffee Dream Squids from putting together their own push afterwards, and they had 2 power clams ready to go very soon afterwards, and they managed to score those as well as enough regular clams to get that knockout right afterwards.
And it may be one of those positions too, where because it was such an early wipeout, there wasn't enough clams in the map for Coffee Dream Squids to even get any clam economy. Sometimes it's all just about the timing of the clams, the positions of the clams. And again, Shake getting those quick power clams just could have been another factor of that. So sometimes you play to your best of your ability, but sometimes the mechanics of the map and the mode are just playing against you. But as I say, Shake is up 2-0 in this series, but we're not done yet as there is a best of 9. There's still 3 more wins that Shake needs, or Coffee Dream Squids can get 5 wins of their own to take this set. So plenty of time for both teams to keep adjusting, keep making changes, and keep trying to try to one-up the other team as we are going to our 3rd map, which I believe is Hagglefish Rainmaker. Double check. Yes, Hagglefish Rainmaker. Which, again, very scary map. These are 2 very aggressive comps, as we're seeing, and this is a very fast map. If you take that middle checkpoint, you go straight to 30 points immediately. Like, you can jump across that gap, and it's hard to come back from that sometimes, especially when you're the team that has to push through it the second time. If the other team gets that score first, they're just going to defend and play it, not let you get through. As we do see a backliner coming out on the side of Shake and a decav coming in from Coffee Dream Squids this time.
Yeah, something that we didn't even comment on is that for the first 2 games, I believe Shake was playing coolerless here without a tacticooler, unless I'm mistaken. But here they are bringing out that zap. Oh, that's another disconnect from the side of Shake. Since they have already used that disconnect replay, they might have to continue this. However, they've still gotten 3 players down. That's a delayed wipe for that Shake have gotten onto Coffee Dream Squids, and they have already gotten the Rainmaker to the pedestal, and they'll be looking to make that jump over from the pedestal. They do make it. They get the Rainmaker down to that 32-point marker, but since there was already some paint put down by Coffee Dream Squids, that will allow Coffee Dream Squids to defend there and prevent Shake from getting an even stronger lead. It's going to be rough with Shake losing their backline. They lost their flat charger here, and the three of their other weapons are going to have to fight it out with their short range. Coffee Dream Squids might be able to pull this off with that consistent numbers advantage that we'll have, and if they're able to play to the strengths, play to their range, and prevent Shake from pushing them back, they might be able to take this. However, Shake are still picking up the Rainmaker again, and they're diving for it. They got it all the way to 1 remaining.
This is definitely one of those cases where Coffee Dream Squids need to win this, because this is a huge demoralizer for your team if you manage to lose the 3v4. I think that potentially that first checkpoint may have been they weren't sure of the DC rules and didn't realize that they were playing it out, but getting to 1, that's just a case where Shake managed to find that opening and Coffee Dreamskids didn't capitalize on the numbers advantage here. So they really have to make this KO. There's still plenty of time with 3 minutes left. They now do have map control, though they do have this Zuka here from Squidian on that 10. They're able to try to push out this Rainmaker and they just have to play hard defense. They need to just prevent a KO. And if push comes to shove, they can just sit next to the checkpoint and make the goal and make sure that they just can't get that last extra point.
Yeah, but once again, Shake are still picking up the Rainmaker, playing aggressively, getting that trade there, even though a trade isn't going to be in their favor, but still getting 2 picks with those tri-strikes coming out from that T-Tech from Elamac. But still, Coffee Dream Squids are on the defensive here, putting out that Tacticooler, and it's with 2 going down on the side of Shake. Coffee Dream Squids still have that chance as Fly is still coming back, still swimming back into mid. Now Coffee Dream Squids have picked up the Rainmaker, and they're going to need to do something a little bit slow and methodical, I think. Getting 2 picks. It looks like one of those was with the Rainmaker. However, going for the 3rd pick on Squidion, but Squidion does get that pick on the Decavitator. And Coffee Dream Squids are able to get the Rainmaker to that checkpoint here and are going to be looking to extend that push. As we see from Kawa looking for a pick on the side, not getting it. There's the Inkjet coming out from that Decavitator, and Coffee Dream Squids have picked up the Rainmaker once again, moving it forward through that Ink Vac and going for the knockout here. They do manage to get the knockout.
The Ink Vac being a very useful tool there, just being able to let that Rainmaker walk through, and again, the rest of the team being able to stagger those shooters one by one, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're Coffee Dream Squids, is you're given that advantage state in the 3v4, and you just have to take it. You know, some may think of it as unfortunate or unfair, but at the end of the day, those are the rules, and you have to run with it, and it's a very important win for them, because if you lose that match, that's a huge deficit to your mental game there. It's hard to kind of come back and focus in the game when you're thinking, if we lose a 3v4, how can we win a 4v4?
Yeah, absolutely necessary for them to knock out after Coffee Dream Squids got all the way to 1 point remaining, but after Shake got all the way to 1 point remaining, but Coffee Dream Squids did manage to hold on. They regrouped, and they got enough picks to start getting Shake staggered, the 3 players who were left alive, preventing them from being able to coordinate their specials and really even use their specials at all, as they did start to tunnel vision, I believe, and started to focus the Rainmaker. But once that VAC was out, it was essentially game over here. Those specials being used by Coffee Dream Squid to paint up and make a path for the Rainmaker here as they managed to get the knockout.
Again, we can see in that replay, the VAC did a lot of work there for that Rainmaker. You see a shooter from the side of Shake getting like touching right up to the Rainmaker, like just making physical contact, and could not get any hits because of that VAC, and then going down and just no one else able to respawn in time before they get the wipeout. So an important win for Coffee Dream Squids. They're only 1 game off of Shake now, so it's a less scary lead, and like I said, it's a best of 9. There's a lot of time, and hopefully we're going to see some momentum coming up from Coffee Dream Squids as they're able to continue this and take that momentum and that win and just push forward and make the adjustments they need to start getting some wins here in the set.
Yeah, I'm honestly not so sure. I hate to say it, but it really might come down to the connection, because Shake have had such a strong hold on these games when they have had all 4 players available and in the lobby. They do have everyone returned now. They have all 4 players online, but you also must have to wonder if that's going to affect Shake's mental game, if they're going to be worried in the back of their mind about the potential for a disconnect, and if that's going to affect how they play, if they're going to go for quick wins, go for riskier plays, so that they won't have to necessarily have to play out the 3v4 if, say, later into a game, one of their players, in particular Flowing, does end up disconnecting again.
That is definitely an interesting thing to think about when you have consistent connection issues and just trying to win fast before you have time to DC. But yeah, like you said, we'll have to kind of see how those connectivity issues can change the mental of both of these teams. But again, we're going into Splatzone's Umami next. We do have Shake up 2-1 over Coffee Dream Squids. We have both teams here readying up slowly, picking their weapons, and this map should be interesting because, as you say, you want to see quick KOs, but as a split zones map, these ones can be fairly long sometimes. It's very hard to get you need full map control to really take both zones, and as long as one player from either side is able to paint a zone, it's going to be a very long stalemate.
That is right. Here on Umami Zones, this is one of the map modes that we do, one of the zones maps that we do see going the full time more often than we might see on others. Sure, so the knockout, the lockout can be pretty deadly, especially here in the lower divisions, and it can be difficult for a team to find the coordination that they need to deal with, like, say, a single mechanically capable player who is able to run around and just get pick after pick here on a team that is staggering to come back. But now, as the teams are flowing is moving to the Z and F splatter scope, with Coffee Dream Squids, with Neko bringing out that vanilla range blaster, and Sushi on the Sorella tent. Otherwise, still a pretty familiar composition we're seeing on both sides.
Yeah, an interesting switch here onto that vanilla range blaster instead of the custom, opting for the bomb and giving yourself a wave breaker rather than having that Kraken to go in and be aggressive. But see, all of Coffee Dream Squids goes down immediately to Shake, and only not even 30 seconds in, they have full map control. They have 2 shooters, 3 shooters now getting into the base of Coffee Dream Squids. And we said that this might be a long one, but if Coffee Dream Squids need a response now and break out of their base before Shake to start counting down and take a free KO here.
Yeah, they have those specials already coming out. That charger from Flowing, bringing out those tri-strikes, holding back Coffee Dream Squids and that Crab Tank. But now 2 go down on the side of Coffee Dream Squids as the timer keeps ticking down for Shake. They are once again bringing that tactical-less team comp. No cooler, but they don't need it if they're able to keep winning these fights and keep getting the picks without going down themselves. It's just the splatter shot on the side of Shake who goes down now, but Coffee Dream Squids are going to need more than that fast. They're going to need their specials, but 2 more go down. That might have been a double collateral from the charger.
Yeah, Flowing did get a double collateral there at the end, and the Crab Tank goes down, and Shake just immediately KOing this match as fast as possible. I guess we gave Coffee Dream Squids the commentator's curse, saying that this would be a long one. So Shake now going up 3-1 in this series. A very commanding game there, where they took they got a wipeout in 24 seconds, I believe. Look, we see coming back up here. The 1 goes down. All 3 in the left side. We see the pincer here from the junior. 3 go down at 21 seconds into the game, and they never lost their holdout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that they did not. We'll be moving right on to Game 5 here, which will be, I believe, tower control on Undertow Spillway. Chat, I see those barnacles, but we're not there yet. We give it a little bit of time. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We are guaranteed a Game 6, but first we need to focus on Undertow Spillway, where I don't see much changing, to be honest, unless Coffee Dream Squids can radically change their approach and figure out how to deal with what Shake is putting them through.
Yeah, and this is one of those points where you have to look at your own team comp and your own play styles and think, what can we change without weakening what we have? Because sometimes some adjustments aren't always positive, because you may be playing a weapon you're not as strong with, or a play style you're not used to, and then it can kind of throw off your team composition. So Coffee Dream Squids now have to find that balance between what they're good at and what Shake is not good against, playing against. And with the commanding leads that we've seen Shake taking in some of these games, it's a bit of a tall order, but something's going to have to happen. And, Shake is 2 games away from winning. They could take this next set, and then our Clams Barnacle game, that could be the set. So Coffee Dream Squids here a bit on the ropes, but they still have a little bit of time to make some ideas and make something happen.
That they do. We'll see if they're able to do it. They have been using a very consistent comp with Sushi on the tent, Kawa on edit, and Floke on Slash, and Neko on the range blaster. I feel like we do see players sticking with what they're comfortable with and trying to and doing their best to make it work. And this is a composition that does work together, but Coffee Dream Squids will have to figure something out that they haven't figured out so far in order to beat Shake here.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see a bit more of an aggressive stance from Coffee Dream Squids. We see Shake is just walking forward, guns a-blazing, and Coffee Dream Squids taking a more passive approach, especially with some very strong weapons. The Tent and the CRB can one-shot. They have a shooter with them. It could work very well aggressively. Now, as we see the Octo Shot coming back on the side of Coffee Dream Squids instead of that splash from Floke, and the Kraken coming back from the CRB rather than the vanilla range blaster. We do see the ZF again from flowing on the side of Shake, and very familiar comp from both sides. Very reminiscent of Game 1 minus that splat charger. Or the ZF charger, sorry.
Yep. Canadian moment, calling it ZF versus EF.
Well, it's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I get it. I get you. But yeah, we have Shake here taking the tower first. With Coffee Dream Squids going 2 down here. I do like the picks of the CRB and the T-Tech, or rather the Octo Shot, having that Kraken to hold the tower and the strikes to stop it, but it's not going to be working if they are going down before they can get those specials. Fly having that bubble on the tower and allowing them to get to that second checkpoint. Sushi here's looking for that pick, but not able to get it. Oh, once again, it is flowing, going down to that disconnect here, and this could be a chance for Coffee Dream Squids. They were able to win last time with that early disconnect. Now Shake only made it to 34 remaining. They were able to get very close to a knockout last time. They had only a 3v4, but now Coffee Dream Squids, they can use the playbook that they had going against just these 3 short-range shooters before, and they will try to take the win here. However, Shake still have the tower at this point, and Coffee Dream Squids do have the specials, those tri-strikes in particular, but they aren't focusing them on the tower. That Vac sucking up that bomb and giving them a chance to move forward, but Squidion going for the pick and getting the pick on the tent, and Shake are still able to get down to 29 remaining on that push, and even getting the wipeout here. With that 3v4, they're off the tower though, so they aren't able to make the most of it just yet as Coffee Dream Squids are spawning back in, but Shake are still making such a strong showing here despite losing their anchor.
We can definitely see a lot more confidence coming out from Shake here. Even, this is the second game now where we've seen them 3v4, and they're still walking straight at Coffee Dream Squids with all the confidence in the world, and Coffee Dream Squids not playing very confidently, they're still playing kind of passively, and now we see Sushi trying to make something happen with like 10 ticks till Shake takes the win, trying to get around the tower, but that bubble keeping them completely out, and Shake does get the KO in the 3v4, and that brings them to set point. Coffee Dream Squids now on the ropes really need to find something within themselves to bring this back, whether it be becoming more aggressive. Maybe they need to switch up a weapon just to kind of change how they play, but from what we've seen so far, their normal play style is not one that will be beating Shake consistently, so they're going to need to find something else to bring here.
Yeah, I don't know if Shake have a 5th player. And looking at the roster from their submission, like to Ludi, it looks like they may have a 5th player. I don't know if that player is available to sub in at this moment, or if it is just those 4 players, or if they've made any changes to their roster. But they might just keep trying to stick with flowing and hope that the connection issues either don't continue or just aren't a problem for them, as they were on this game. They were able to get that tower all the way to the goal using the tools that they had, even with their 4th player permanently down.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like they even need that 5th player. Again, winning this 3v4, I mean, before the disconnect happened, they did get to 34 points. So they did have a substantial lead, but even losing that member, still keeping consistent map control and getting that KO. And in the other match, you saw the disconnect. They still got to 1 point on Rainmaker. Sure, they lost the match, but it was a 1 to a KO. It's still a very, very close match nonetheless. So Shake may just power through, as they only need 1 more win to Coffee Dream Squid's 4 more wins needed to take the set. Though we do see, we will hopefully be seeing some better connection as we do. The room was remade, they are rehosting, so we're gonna have a little bit of time to talk about some stuff here going into our 6th game. Everyone in the chat is rejoicing. Everyone's redeeming the Barnacles as we are going to Barnacle and Dime Clamblets.
Yeah, I am seeing in the chat that Relic is their 5th player, but not at home, so unable to sub in at the moment, which is perhaps unfortunate for Shake. However, it does look like they can still win with a player down, and it might be more difficult on Clam Blitz as the more slower, more drawn out pushes are necessary to keep scoring to get that knockout. But let's get those Barnacles in the chat. Let's get those Barnacles.
Yeah,
we are going to Barnacle and Dime.
Yes, we are going to Barnacle and Dime, everyone's seemingly favorite map. No biases. And yeah, so this is one of those cases where, again, a map that very strong holdouts. This is one of those maps where your own base is kind of in a little pit while if you get held out, the enemy team has the high ground. So it can be a very scary position if Coffee Dream Squids get locked in their spawn as they have been. Though, again, with that tent and with some of the tools they have, they should be able to break out against Shake. I think it comes to confidence at this point. I think Coffee Dream Squids need to play more confidently and more brazenly and just start walking forward and taking those fights and winning, because we have seen some very good picks from the members of Coffee Dream Squids. They just don't seem like they have the confidence in their aggression, their ability to fight off Shake.
Yeah, another thing that I've noticed a few times, especially on that Manta Maria game, is that Shake have been able to use the flanks, get players on Coffee Dream Squids isolated and pinched from 2 angles to take them down one at a time. And being on the lookout for flanks like that is something that Coffee Dream Squids will need to do if they want to take this, because Barnacle is a map where you can use those alleys on the side of mid to flank the enemy team, and if they're not looking out for it, that will be very dangerous.
Yeah, as you mentioned, those streets, very important here. Again, that tent, weapon that can block out the entire street, and shooters are very strong, as we do see the splash coming in from Floke. So hopefully we can see some very strong play in those streets from Floke being able to walk through and try to be that flanker for Coffee Dream Squids to counter what Shake's been doing, as we see Shake bringing in a very familiar comp with the triple shooter. They are bringing the custom E-leader, so they're getting that long range backline with the Kraken back, can be very good for holding at the enemy team. And we see Coffee Dream Squids the similar comp as we always seen, as we do see one go down on both sides, and just a fight here in mid. It's 2 down for Shake. Coffee Dream Squids now have numbers. This is when they need to start walking forward, but they're standing back because the bubble's distracting them. They need to start walking forward now to take some space before Shake all return, as they just do now.
Yeah, the blaster going forward there, but not able to get anything done as they get picked off. 2 down now on the side of Coffee Dream Squids, and Shake have taken mid. They're putting down the paint there, and they're extending their push. Even though a trade happens, Coffee Dream Squids are able to get another trade, but still, Shake are continuing that push, using those specials, picking up that power clam, and able to score it before the first minute of the game is up.
Yeah, we already have one. We're getting a couple more claims in here, though. It is just Fly left on Shake, and they are in the middle of the map. See, now they're just going to paint up the map, try to give some space for jumps and for their teammates to respawn. As Coffee Dream Squid starting to walk in, they do get Fly down. They now are still walking forward, holding this mid. They do have their soda out, which does give them a bit of advantage over Shake as they're walking forward with this tent. We see a couple specials ready in the side of Coffee Dream Squids. Another come out. Both members with specials do go down to Limac here, or Elimac, and Shake just taking map control on the flip of a dime.
Yeah. Elimac there getting that flank and being able to get 2 picks from behind Coffee Dream Squids without getting spotted. That trade there, the Zuka and the leader taking each other out, but now Float going down to one of those tri-strikes. Neko getting a pick off of that squid roll off the wall, but also getting taken out by Sushi here. Sushi has to jump out. Sorry, not taken out by Sushi. That's their teammate. Sushi has to jump out, and now Shake has the control of mid. Gets 2 down to that Zuka. That Zuka preventing this push from scoring immediately. The power claim is still up. Elimac might be going for it. No, not picking it up, and the power clam breaks. Shake still have control of the area around Coffee Dream Squids' basket, and Fly going back there for a power clam. Will they hold on to that space long enough to get that ball into the basket? The specials are coming out, so it looks likely. Sushi pushing forward, but getting just swam past by the members of Shake. Squidion up on that side, using the Trizuka from behind, and making that space for Shake to score more points.
Shake continuously showing that they are the more aggressive team. They just keep walking in and commanding the space. Now, 34 points remaining for them with 2 minutes left in the game. So, very good position for Shake, though we do see Coffee Dream Squids repeatedly trying to break out of their base, though they do go 1 down, and Shake is now regrouping, and they're coming in from both sides. See 1 on the left and 1 on the right, and Shake are just using those flanks, and they're using that aggression and just continually just taking steps forward and never stopping. And Coffee Dream Squids just don't have room to breathe here. As we do, one goes down to a bomb virtually after picking up the pity clam, so they may need to save that clam because they're going to need a lot of points here as the barrier does get broken by Shake. And again, just commanding positions, just continually picking members one by one. Elimac getting 1 there in the pit, Flowing scoring clams. We see Zuka's coming out. It's just utter chaos in the base of Coffee Dream Squids, and 13 points remaining, no more clams. That's maybe the end of this push, but it's not the end of the holdout.
Yeah, it's not. Fly going back to pick up some clams. There weren't any close enough to get them into the basket. However, they do manage to hold onto that space. Fly is able to make a new power clam. The basket isn't down quite yet, but now it goes down. Fly's using that bubble and multiple specials, 3 specials coming out from Shake, allowing them to get that triple on Coffee Dream Squids, scoring more points into the basket. They only need 3 more to win, and Elimac has those clams. They do manage to score all those clams, getting the knockout and taking this set, moving on to the next round of the playoffs.
Yes, we see here Shake taking it 5-1 over Coffee Dream Squids. Very strong performance from Shake. Again, the only game they lost, they got to 1 point before the KO, and it was potentially due to a 3v4. Not saying that Coffee Dream Squids couldn't have won that game, but it is how it played out. And yeah, very strong performance from Shake. Again, a lot of confidence, just walking forward, using the flank routes, using their specials when needed, and just kind of being a couple steps ahead of Coffee Dream Squids at all times in all 6 of these matches.
Yeah, absolutely. Using their specials too. Like they were using their specials, especially towards the end, towards that last or second to last push, as they popped 3 at once, knowing that they already had the space and just needed a little bit more to score points and to hold Coffee Dream Squids back to give them the space to keep scoring. Using those specials is really, really key here, and Shake were able to do that as a team to get those points scored and make this a knockout game to take the set.
Yes, very strong performance from Shake, though Coffee Dream Squids, you know, they had a lot of potential there, and they had a very strong, like, interesting comp, but Shake, ultimately taking it. They're going on to the next round, to the top 8 of Div 9W in the playoffs for Season 15 of Ludi. So, that being said, that is everything for us right now. We do have more Splatoon action coming up for you, though. In a couple of hours, not only do we have a couple of more Ludi Tonight sets coming up, but right now, we have Sunset Surge from Arizona. It is a LAN. It is on Splatoon Tourney, like the main Twitch channel. We're going to send you over after this stream. It's going to be awesome. Go watch it. A lot of amazing people are there. The production looks amazing. I have it on my other monitor, and it looks so sick. So before we head off here, Jordan, thank you for commentating with me. Where can the people find you on the internet?
Yeah, I am on I am on the Fediverse. I am Squidoku at Splatsville.social. I am also on X, where I am Squidoku_. And you can find me in various Twitch chats, as well as Discord as Jordan Pie. How about you, Hammy?
You can find me basically everywhere at Hammy and the Wall, as well on Discord at HITW, because Hammy and the Wall is too long. And yeah, I don't do much, but you can still find me if you want to for some reason. So that being said, thanks everyone for watching. Jordan, thank you for commentating with me. Shout out to Jorian for being our streamer. Very thankless work. And with that being said, we are going to send all of you over to the Sunset Surge stream, the Arizona land. Get hyped for that. It's going to be amazing games. Thank you all for watching. And remember, you've been watching Ludi Tonight on Splatoon Tourney.